Hello and welcome. Welcome back. Old friends are new because it's my last study video. I believe we sort of grew in size, my tiny YouTube channel. Now we have 1,000 more subscribers, which is great because I love it that so many of us are so, passionate about studying the Word, studying the Torah. And today I have an extremely mind-blowing video, and it's a study on Lamentations 5. Now, Tisha B'Av is just around the corner, right? That's the 9th of Av. And I believe it's, let me move this, hang on. Yeah, I believe it's 26th of July to 27th of July. Now, every time Tisha B'Av comes around, I read the book of Lamentations. Now, around 2 years ago, the Lord took me through an amazing study through the book of Lamentations, and I came across a code, an amazing code that's hidden by Jeremiah the prophet in the book of Lamentations. Now, I'll tell you what happened, okay? Now, in the past few months, I have not been posting any study videos. Well, partly it's because I really, after the last study video, I got a lot of comments saying that women are not allowed to teach. So, just a disclaimer, okay? I am not teaching. I'm a fellow student of the Torah, and when I come across something amazing in studying the Torah, I share it. So it's not like I'm a school teacher or something. It's just that I'm a fellow student who loves to study the Word. And when I come across some amazing, you know, significant findings in the Word that I feel, the Lord has shown me. Sorry, that's Danny, my dog. Then I have to share it with my fellow students. Just think of me as one of those studious, bookwormish students who's always studying and sharing the notes. Okay, so don't think of me as a teacher. All right, and as always, take everything to the Lord. I mean, I'm just sharing what I learn and what He shows me in the Word, right? So what happened in Tisha B'Av? A lot of things happened. Okay, I'm going to try and make this smaller. Hang on. Okay, so Tisha B'Av is the 9th of Av. It's a terrible day for the people of God, for the Israelites, because first of all, when Moses sent the spies, he sent 12 spies into Canaan to sort of suss out the land, and the spies, out of the 12 of them that went, okay, only two of them came back. And that was Joshua and Caleb. Only two of them came back with a good report. And because of that, the entire community, started wailing and crying that, oh, there are giants in the land, they're going to kill us, they're going to eat our children, etc., and God punished them. And instead of, and they had to be in the wilderness for 40 years. And that generation never entered the land, except for Joshua and Caleb, all right? Because those were the only two who came back with a good report. The first temple built by Solomon, okay, was destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian king, in 586 BC. All right, so it's all over here. You can just go to the, Wikipedia page. I'll link these pages below in case you have difficulty finding them. That happened on the 9th of Av. The second temple, which was built by Ezra and Nehemiah, also known as Herod's temple in the New Testament, the temple in which Jesus, Yeshua, walked, and he overturned the tables, for the money lenders and the people selling, buying and selling in that courtyard. So that temple was, as Yeshua, as Jesus predicted, was destroyed in 70 AD by the Romans. All right. Now, all that happened, but there were so many other calamities that also happened. Okay, let me just see if I can bring this down a bit. Yeah, so you go through this Wikipedia page of what all happened, okay? The Jews were, the first crusade started and they killed a lot of Jews in France and Rhineland. Jews were expelled from England. Again, that was on the 9th of Av. This is all that I'm saying happened on Tisha B'Av, okay? Expelled from France, from Spain. So many things happened, okay? Germany entered World War One, okay, which eventually led to World War Two. When World War One, Germany was defeated, and they were sort of really, what can we say? They were kind of crushed. and to come back into power, they started World War II. Okay, and that led to the Holocaust, and 6 million people, Jewish people, died in the Holocaust. So all I'm saying is that Tisha B'Av, the ninth of Av, has been a horrible time, all right, for the Jewish people, for the people of God, for the Israelites. Now, Jeremiah, who was also known as the weeping prophet, right? This is Jeremiah over here. I think I have a bigger picture of him somewhere anyway. So he wrote the book of Lamentations around this time, around the time the first temple was destroyed, 586 BC by Nebuchadnezzar. And this is an amazing book, Lamentations. Now, most people say, oh, he's crying, weeping, and it's all about sadness and loss. And I don't like reading Lamentations, but I'm telling you, my friends, if you read the book in Hebrew, you will be mind blown because Jeremiah the prophet was a linguistic engineer. He was this genius, okay? Now, it's made up of 5 chapters, okay? So now, the Hebrew, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the first 4 chapters, okay, chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 are acrostic. What does that mean? Acrostic means that Jeremiah starts every verse, okay, with the alphabets, okay. So like the first chapter has 22 verses. Verse 1 starts with Aleph, okay. So you have Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zain, Het, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ain, Pe, Sati, Kof, Resh, Shin, and Tav. These are the 22 Hebrew alphabets. So in the first 4 chapters, Jeremiah starts each verse with the alphabets in sequence. So it's acrostic. So the first verse starts with Aleph, second one with Bet, third one with Gimel, fourth one with Dalet, so on and so forth. Okay. Now in the third chapter, chapters 1, 2, and 4, all right, have 22 verses. Chapter 3 has 66 verses. So in chapter 3, verse 1, 2, and 3 start with Aleph. Verse 4, 5, and 6 start with Bet, and then Gimel, and then Dalet, and so on and so forth till he gets to Tav, all right? But the genius that Jeremiah was, you know what he did? In chapter 5, there is no acrostics. If you read chapter 5, okay, so let me take you to the Interlinear Bible, okay? Hang on. Yeah, so here we are. This is the Interlinear Bible, all right? So chapter 5, you'll find the entire book of Lamentations is acrostic. It's beautiful. It's like a feat of linguistic engineering by Jeremiah, okay? But in chapter 5, Jeremiah just breaks the acrostic thing. Now why would he do that? You would say, oh, he got tired of writing in acrostics, He just sort of let out his heart and feelings. That's what a lot of commentaries say, that he just poured out his heart in chapter 5. I'm here to tell you that the Lord has shown me something amazing. Jeremiah did not, in Lamentations 5, the book of Lamentations, chapter 5, he breaks the acrostics. Why? Why would he do that when he has maintained acrostics for the first 4 chapters? Why would he break it in 5? Because there's a hidden code. And when you study this in Hebrew, you're going to be mind blown. I'm going to show you how I went about it, okay? So here you have Lamentations 5. It has 22 verses corresponding to the alphabets, the 22 alphabets of the Hebrew language, okay? From Aleph to Tav, all right? Now, the first one, okay? I'll leave a link for this in the description so you can go and see it for yourself, okay? So in this, the word is Zakor, okay? Means remember. So remember, Lord God, what has come upon us. Look and behold our reproach. All right. So this is verse 1. It starts with what? It starts with Zakor. Okay. Do you see this? Zakor. And what is the corresponding Strongs is 2142. So what I've done is I've created an Excel sheet. Okay. I was led to do this. This is amazing. It's mind blowing. Watch this. Okay. Verse 1 starts with the alphabet sign. The first word used in the verse is Zakor. I just showed you that. The Hebrew Strongs of Zakor is 2142, and I just showed you that as well. See, let's go back there. Okay, Zakor 2142. Now, whatever I'm showing you, I will give you links. Go and study it for yourself also. You're going to be mind blown after this study. Okay, second verse starts with Nahala. Okay, Nahala Tenu is basically it means our inheritance. Okay, inheritance. Nahala is inheritance, and the corresponding Strong's Hebrew is 5159. All right. So on and so forth. I've gone to each verse, the beginning of each verse in Lamentations 5. Okay, written by Jeremiah, the linguistic genius. And what I've done is I've said it begins with the alphabet. It begins with because Hebrew is an alphanumeric language, I've even put the alphabet numerical value next to this, okay? So Zakor, the Nahala, right? I showed you that the Hebrew Strong's 5159, it means Nahala, all right? So Zakor is to mark, to remember, to be recognized, to make, to be remembered. Now this is a nuance of Hebrew, okay, when God says to make, to be remembered, okay. And I've also given the occurrence of this word zakar, okay, in the Torah, the first occurrence, all right, and so on and so forth. Now if you see there's zakar, there's nahala, yatomim, which is basically Hebrew Strong's 3490, that's yatom, meaning fatherless or orphan, okay. Then you have memenu, okay, because verse 4 starts with memenu, but the Strong's number there given is 4325, okay, verse 4. And when you check 4325, you get maim. Hebrew Strong's 4325 is maim, okay, and that means waters, flood, or filthy water, also very dirty water. And that is given to us in the first occurrences, Genesis 1:2, okay, where the Spirit of God moved upon the waters, right? So on and so forth. I've plotted every single. There are 22 verses, and as you can see, I've gone right up to Kaf, okay, the 22nd verse, and I've sort of used the first word used in this verse. In verse 1 it was Zakor, in verse 2 is Nahala, verse 3 is Yathamim, verse 4 is Memenu, verse 5 is Al. Now Al, okay, the Hebrew Strong's is 5923, okay, and this is used multiple times, okay, verse 5, verse 17, verse 18, it's used thrice, okay, it begins with Al. So what was I led to do? So as I mentioned here, okay, I put a comment here saying the first occurrence was Genesis 1 verse 2, okay, and here we have the first part of that verse, all right. So goodness, let me make this even smaller. Okay, here we go. So here we have the first part of this verse, okay, which is darkness was over the face of the deep, okay, from Genesis 1:2. Now when Al is repeated in verse 17, let me take this down. What I've done is I've used the second occurrence, and the third time I've used the third occurrence, which is Genesis 1:7, okay, because when one word is used to start 3 verses, there's a reason Jeremiah did it, and I believe it is based on the occurrence of the word, the occurrence of the word in the Torah, the way it occurs, the first occurrence, second occurrence, third occurrence, okay. The rest of the words are all pretty much easy to understand. I'll just take you through this quickly, okay. So here we have the verse 4 beginning with Memenu, and when you look up 4325, like for example, Zakor is 2142, right? So when you look it up in Strong's, you'll see that it says Zakar, okay, but God remembered Noah, the first occurrence. So that's what I plotted into the Excel sheet, okay. Genesis 8:1 remembered Noah. Now if you go to Memenu, okay, which is the 4th verse, let's go to the 4th verse. I'll show you in interlinear. The 4th verse starts with Memenu, okay. What is the Strong's Hebrew? 4325, right? Now if I look up Memenu, all right, let's just type in Strong's 4325. Let's just look it up. The word is Mayim, Okay, so what I've done is I've not just gone over what memenu means. It means the waters, but the actual Strong's Hebrew word corresponding to this is mine. Okay, and where's the first occurrence in Genesis 1, 2? Okay, so again we have this very interesting thing that Jeremiah's done, because he starts the words like Mizraim, for example. Okay, the verse 6 begins with Mizraim, all right? But actually, when you look up Hebrew Strongs, it's Mizri. Okay, Mizri is basically Egyptian, of Egyptian origin, or of Egypt. Now Egypt is a euphemism for this world. All right. So, oh my God, there's a bug around. Oh dear. Okay, never mind. So anyway, Egypt is a euphemism for this world. This corrupt world is often called Egypt. Okay. Now, then you have the verse 7, which begins with the left. That's Abotenu. Okay, the verse begins with Abotenu, and it's Strong's number 1. What does that mean? That means Abba or Ab. Okay, that's Father, our Father, the Lord Almighty. Okay, then we have, like this, you can see that from verse 4, I've told you, Ain, Al, Mizraim, Abotenu, Abadim, okay, which basically means a bondservant. The Strong's word is Ebed. It says Abadim, but the Strong's word 5650 is Ebed. Okay, then you have verse 9 beginning with Benaf Shenu. Okay, but Benaf Shenu is basically Nefesh, 5325. Okay, or is it 53? I'm sorry, 5315. The font is so small, I'll try and get my other specs on it. My eyesight, I tell you, I wish God was, yeah, 5315. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I wanted to show you this, right? 5315, this is verse 9. So let's go to verse 9 in the interlinear, verse 6, verse 7, verse 8, verse 9. Okay, so Benab Shenu. Okay, this means Benab Shenu. Okay, at the risk of our lives, Benab Shenu. But when you go to Strong's, okay, let's again check the number. It's 5315. So now if I type in Strong's 5315, Strong's 5315. Maybe I should have kept all this open from beforehand. What is it? It is Nefesh. Okay, Nefesh, a soul, a living being, life. So I have plotted that in the Excel sheet. Okay, alright. So if you go to verse 9, you will see Benaf Shenu, but it is Nefesh, breathing creature, soul, a living being. Alright, first occurrence Genesis 1 to 120. Alright, chapter 1, verse 20. Okay, then you have Aurenu on verse 10, which is basically the Hebrew Strong's is 5785. It's or, which means naked or skin or hide. Now it's used for the first time in Genesis 3:21, where coats of skin, God made them coats of skin and clothed them. Okay, then you have, this is very interesting, verse 11 is Nashim 802. Now if you look up Strong's 802, you will find, okay, that's really strong, powerful for me. Okay, if you look up Strong's 802, you will find it means Isha, which is the word for woman, and it also means Nashim, which is the word for two wives. Okay, so you can look that up, but I've created a note here that the first use of Isha is Genesis 2:22. Okay, that God created the woman, from the rib that he took out of Adam. And then, but the first occurrence of Nashim is in Genesis 4:19, where Lamech is talking, to his two wives. Lamech took two wives. That's in Genesis 4:19. So you see, so this word Nashim, it means two wives, specifically two wives. Okay, woman, bride, wife, specifically two wives. Then you have Sarim, all right. Verse 12 begins with Sarim, but the Strong's word is Sar. Okay, if you look up this 8269, you'll find it Sar, which means prince, captain, chief, ruler. Okay, then verse 13 it begins with Bet. The word is Bahurim. Okay, Bahur is actually the Strong's word. It means the chosen young man. Okay, so like this, so on and so forth. I've got these words, and all the way up to verse 22. Okay, well, verse 22 is really funny. Okay, because it starts with kaf. Okay, and the word used is ki, which means that. Now that, the Strong's number is 3588, okay? That's Hebrew Strong's 3588. Alright? It occurs 4,488 times in 3,910 verses. So what do? We look to the first occurrence in the Torah for this word key. Okay? So now I hope you're getting where I'm coming from, how I've got the message. Okay? And the first verse where key is used is God saw the light and it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. All right, so this is the way I did the decoding, all right, of the first letters, the first word used in the verses in Lamentations 5. There is a bug here and I'm so shoo, go away. It's very annoying. Just when I'm making a video, there's been no bugs the whole day for the last I don't know how many weeks, and now this guy comes here and he's like just annoying me. Hello, go away. In Jesus' name, I have power over you. Little bug. Wow. Just look at this thing. Anyway, so sorry, I got off track there. Hang on, let me come back to you. Okay, I'm back, and this time round I'm armed with a swatter. That thing comes near me again, I'll say I have dominion over you. All right. Okay, so let's get back to this. So what happens is that the meanings of the first word of the words based on the Hebrew Strong's number. So the words are here, okay? The first word till verse 22, they're all here. There's this mind-blowing message, rather the coded message that Jeremiah left for us to find. All right. So as I was saying in the last word, which is key, it's used like 4,488 times in 3,910 verses. So I said we're going to look at the first occurrence, because wherever there's some confusion, always look at the first occurrence. And like for example, al, okay, or al, that is used in three different verses, okay, three different verses in Jeremiah. It's not Jeremiah, Lamentations chapter 5. Sorry, I keep saying Jeremiah, I'm so sorry. Lamentations chapter 5, which was written by Jeremiah. But see, it occurs in verse 17, verse 18. Okay, so as I mentioned, I've used it, first occurrence, second occurrence, third occurrence in the Torah, that way. All right. So the message that came out of this is one mind-blowing message, and I am going to read that out to you right now. Okay, so let's move this out. This is the message that comes out. Okay, now I'll try and put this on Google Drive so that you can actually download this and you can work on it yourself and see how amazing this is. Okay, I hope I can manage this Google Drive thing. I'm not so technically sound. So anyway, so this is the great message hidden by Jeremiah, the linguistic genius engineer, in Lamentations 5, which is the only chapter of Lamentations that is not acrostic. It doesn't start with Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, that kind of thing, okay? It's totally hodgepodge, it's all over the place, which is very strange because Jeremiah, as I said, was a genius when it came to writing, alright? So here the great message hidden by Jeremiah in Lamentations 5 is to remember the inheritance of the orphans, dividing the waters above, looking down upon Egypt, this world. Okay, so to remember the inheritance of the orphans, dividing the waters above, looking down upon this world, or this Egypt, the father Abba, with the servant of servants, Yeshua, Jesus. Okay, why have I said with the servant of servants? Because this word here is a bed. Okay, so verse 8 starts with Abadim, alright, which is Strong's number 5650. It means a bed, alright, a bed, and that means bondservant, slave. First occurrence is Genesis 9:25, which actually says a servant of servants, okay? And Jesus says to everybody who follows him that you have to be like me, a servant of servants, to serve people, right? Now, so let's go again. To remember the inheritance of the orphans, dividing the waters above, looking down upon, okay, looking down upon, because this word, okay, this is al, it means above, over, upon, always with a downward aspect. So it's someone up there looking down, okay, it's like if you're up somewhere, up on the first floor and you're looking down on the ground floor, okay. So above, looking down upon Egypt or this world, the Father, Abba, with the servant of servants, there's no one else but Yeshua, Jesus, okay, will take the souls, alright, Nefesh, who are naked and clothe them, dress them, alright, to be his bride, his wife, Nashim, specifically two wives. Why? Because church and Israel, specifically two wives, okay. So the father, he remembers the inheritance of the orphans, dividing the waters, looking down upon Egypt, this world. The Father, with the servant of servants, Yeshua, will take the souls who are naked and clothe them or dress them, alright, to be his bride, his wife, specifically two wives, church in Israel. The prince, the chosen prince, Prince of Peace, the chosen one, and the ancient elders will finally rest. This is Shabbat, okay? He will cause a deep sleep or darkness and move over the face of the waters, which is basically humanity. Okay, when you say waters, like many nations are considered waters in the Torah. There is a verse that actually explains that. I've forgotten it now from the top of my head. I can't think of it, but I can research it and tell you. Okay, it means waters also represents humanity. Okay, so he will cause a deep sleep or darkness and move over the face of the waters, humanity. God will divide the waters, this humanity, which were from under the firmament, from the waters, the humanity which is going to be above the firmament. So there's going to be a division, okay? So he divides the waters, all right? This is all there in Jeremiah 5. This is hidden all along, okay? Why? Ma means why? For you remain naked from the tree, okay? So this is amazing, all right? One sec, let me try and get this thing out. Hang on. Oh boy, let me just go. What have I done? Why am I so tech challenged, guys? Oh my gosh. I made a comment here, but it's kind of covering the words. Okay, see Isaiah 5:19. Yes, that is true. Because that is what, one second, let me just how do I get this out? Okay. Let's just try it this way, okay? Let me see if I can just oh, this is so annoying. Oh my gosh, how do I get this out? Okay. Why? So what is humanity? I was talking about the division again. I'm gone. I don't know what's going on today. This is crazy, okay? But okay. Alright, so I'll say to see if he would call. Okay, this is the one with the thing. I am going to remove the comment. Delete comment, okay? Remember Isaiah 5:19, okay? So to see if he would call, because when people are left behind, they're going to ask, all right, the first question will be why, what, how, all right, like, ma, why? For you remain naked from the sin of the tree. Okay, this was in Genesis 3:11, all right, uh, which is the over here. Hang on, move this up. Okay, so ata was the word, right? Where am I? Okay, so verse 19 was ata. Okay, Strong's 859 again ata. You, it means you, a masculine version of you in Hebrew, okay, which is basically the first occurrence is Genesis 3:11. For you remained naked from the tree, okay. So in the message, when you read this, it's just mind blowing, guys. So what does this say here? Right. For you remain naked from the sin of the tree, okay, to see if he would call, like, Isaiah 5:19, I wish I hadn't taken off that comment now. Great. No, I'm just going to go to Google and Google it, okay? So let's just see. And it's best put, you know, here it is, NLT, because I just Googled it, so yes. So this is what it says, okay? They even mock God and say, hurry up and do something, do anything. We want to see what you can do. Let the Holy One of Israel carry out his plan. Oh, we want to know what it is. It's sarcasm at its best, guys. Okay, these are people who don't love God, who don't even care about him, who mock him. They mock his people, they mock him. Okay? And they say, hurry up and do something, do anything. Let's see if you can do something. We want to see what you can do. This is Isaiah 5:19, guys. So, God is telling them now that, oh yes, yeah, now you ask me why? For you remain naked from the sin of the tree. You never repented. Okay, you never repented. And to see if God would call, to see, oh, let's see what the God of Israel would do. Let's see. Okay, so there's mockery going on, and this is in part of the message. Okay, and God tells them, and unto dust shalt thou return. For God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. He divides the believers, the church and Israel. He divides them, okay, from the darkness, from the sea of humanity that doesn't care for him, that doesn't love him, that would rather worship the creation rather than the creator. People who are so enmeshed in this world that they have no love for God. I mean, they have more love for the stuff that's around them. Maybe it could be, it could be anything, like they say, right? Like idol worship. What does it mean? It could be worshiping something else. Like you worship, other things. You worship money. You worship whatever properties. You worship other things. Okay, I'm not saying these are not money and property is not a bad thing. It's just that the love of money is it takes you away from God because Jesus says you can't worship two masters. You can't have two masters. You can only have one master. So either choose me or choose mammon. So it's the love of money that's a problem, not the money per se. So guys, do you see this? This is an incredible message that Jeremiah the prophet, the weeping prophet left in the book of Lamentations in chapter 5 because it's a coded message. So, if you see it right from the top, okay, we go to verse 1, and I really seriously am going to try and leave this Excel sheet for you in Google Drive so you guys can go through it. And, we're in this together, right? We're studying together. So, let's just, so the message reads like this. It's talking about the rapture, basically, okay? To remember the inheritance of the orphans. Who are the orphans? We are the orphans because we are pretty much fatherless, motherless in this world, right? To remember the inheritance of the orphans, dividing the waters from above, looking down upon Egypt or this world, the father Abba with the servant of servants. Now here I've added Yeshua because obviously Jeremiah didn't write Yeshua, but he wrote the servants of servants. That's in the code. And who is the servant of servants? It's Yeshua, right? Will take the souls who are naked and clothe them, dress them to be his bride, his wife, specifically two wives, which is amazing, the detail, my God. Nashim, two wives, church in Israel. The Prince of Peace, we all know who that is, the Prince of Peace, the chosen one, and the ancient elders. So all those who are like, the elders who are coming out of the graves, it's talking about the resurrection also. Okay? And the ancient elders will finally rest, Shabbat rest, okay, finally rest. And he who God, Father, our Father, Abba, will cause a deep sleep or darkness and move over the face of waters. This time the waters is the humanity, okay? God will divide the waters or humanity, as I've mentioned, which were from under the firmament, from the waters above the firmament. Why? For you remain naked from the sin of the tree. When they say, why God, why did you do it? Why did you leave us behind? Because you did not repent, for you remain naked from the sin of the tree. And you mocked to see if he would call, like, oh, let's see what the God of Israel can do. Let's, as Isaiah says in verse, 19 of chapter 5, to see if he would call. And God then admonishes those, and he says, and unto dust shalt thou return. And then it ends with, for God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. So this is the message hidden in the book of Lamentations, written by Jeremiah, chapter 5, in the book of Lamentations. Now, you tell me that you're not mind blown by this, okay? And I'm going to leave this entire Excel sheet I made in Google Drive. Go through it yourself. Those of you who love to study like I do, please go through it. Go through the Interlinear Bible. See, check against everything that I put. That have I made any mistakes? Like, have I put the wrong Strong's word? I don't think I have, but hey, two brains are better than one, and in this case, maybe hundreds of you will go through this and enjoy it and love it. And and you'll see the message that was coded in Jeremiah for I don't know how many thousands of years, because this was written around the time of the first temple's destruction, which was around 586 BC. And he was crying over the temple, of them being exiled into Babylon. And Jeremiah was called the weeping prophet because he's really crying. I mean, when you read the book of Lamentations, which we all should at this time of the year, when Tisha B'Av is just around the corner, we should read the book of Lamentations and see what, the pain of exile, of being torn away from, the temple, the Holy of Holies, the presence of the Father, which is the most painful thing in the world, right? To be away from your Father. So, yes, so that's it. And another thing, I'm so sorry I haven't made videos in ages. I have been studying, of course, but do you ever get this feeling like that you're so sick of everything in this world that you just want to take a break from the world and immerse yourself in something else? So I did just that. I basically immersed myself in art. Okay. Now I used to draw and sketch and make a few things here and there, but I got into art in a big way for the last 2 months. All right. And this is what I'm digressing now, but this is basically my sunroom. Okay. And I'm just showing you my artwork. Shameless plug. Okay. This is my button roses outside with my happy little old ancient watering can. This is called the Gathering Storm. This is one of my favorite. This is the view from just outside my house here, okay, and the storm clouds. Then I created this, the snow on the Devtas, which was, again, I had a photograph and, I sort of created this artwork, snow on the Devtas, from. But this is actually, there's a video called The Snow Dogs, and you can see this. The exact same day that I took that video was the day I took this photograph, and then, of course, I created artwork from it. This is a watercolor, petunias on the ledge. This is Missouri nights. This is a view from my window at night. Okay, amazing. This is, Missouri days. You can see the snow on the ground and all. I've been enjoying this. This is my boy Danny, and I've called it the dog days of summer because it was summer and he was staring out the window. Here he is. I've labeled this Danny boy because I keep singing this old timer, Jim Reeves song. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. And he keeps staring at me with this peculiar look on his face. So I had to do this. And this is, like my sunroom, but the other side. So I have two large bookshelves. One is on this side and one is on this side. So this is basically the afternoon sun coming into my sunroom. This is the study. This that you see behind me. Okay. So you can see all these books and everything behind me over here. Right. So this is the study over here. And this is during the day when the sun comes in through the windows. So here it is. So these are my artworks, and what I did was I created a website called pearlshimalayanstore.com. I'll leave the link below. So you can take a look at my artwork. You can take a look at all the stuff that I've done, and I put up 2 months of really hard work, okay? 2 months of I even got some Himalayan art collectibles. Like, I love these old botanical, vintage prints. So I have those. Then I have these different artworks. And I have one frame posters. And I know this may sound like a shameless plug, but it's not, because most of you are not from India and this is only for sale in India. So it's not a shameless plug. I'm just sharing with you what I've been doing the last 2 months. I even managed to get into Etsy. It's very difficult for Indian sellers to get on Etsy. And as you can tell, this is only, I got onto Etsy and I also call it Pearl's Himalayan store. And basically, I've been into art the last 2 months, which is why I haven't had time to make videos. And I've been studying, but I just haven't had time to share a lot. So this is the art so far. I'm still going on creating. And yeah, so I'll leave the links below. I don't think you can actually purchase any of this because this is in Indian rupees, so I don't know how it works. Okay, this has just been like we just started in July, like middle of July or something. And I think yeah, so we've got the artwork here, and I'll leave links to the store here, but go and check it out. I know for a fact that the Himalayan store, the Indian store, you can't actually buy if you're outside of India, because these are all actual physical frames and actual physical artwork, okay, and poster rolls. Whereas the one on Etsy, I think you can pick it up if you want to, because that's digital downloads. That's like instant digital downloads. So you basically download it, take it to a printer, have it printed and framed. Because I don't see any other way to share my artwork, my passion for the last 2 or more months that I've created all these art prints. So I didn't see any other way to share it. So I think that's great. So I'm gonna share that. Shameless plug, I know. Oh, but never mind. I've enjoyed every minute of putting this artwork together, and it's very detailed artwork. It's very detailed, as you can tell. Like it's a lot of. I've enjoyed it, but you can make out that it's been a labor of love, art from the heart. Because I got so sick of everything in this world. I just wanted time out. I was like, no, Lord, I'm taking a time out. That's it. I'm taking a time out. I'm gonna immerse myself in beauty and art. And I ended up creating a website, putting it on Etsy. Etsy thing just happened like maybe a week ago. But anyway, so anyhow, to close with this shameless plug of telling you guys about my artwork, I'm just sharing, you know, this passion I have for creating art. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you that now that Tisha B'Av is around the corner, 26th, 27th of July, it was the right time to share this study on Lamentations, because that was also written around Tisha B'Av, right? So, and I'm going to try and put this Lamentations 5 code that has been found, which is awesome, I think, because how many thousands of years has it stayed hidden, huh? So anyway, this has been found now, and I'm going to try and put this, great hidden message, this entire Excel sheet, so you can go through it. I'm going to put it up on my Google Drive and share that Drive link over here in the description box. All right, and yeah, that's it for now. Till I come up with another study, I'm really looking forward to everything. There's so much. I believe the red heifer is ready, and so much is happening in the world. But because of all this happening in the world, all this kitsch pitch happening in the world, I was like, I need to take a break. So now I'm involved in art, and I'm involved in creating fine art prints and things like that. Of course, it's wonderfully creative, and I'm really enjoying that too. But then my first love is the word, so I'll never stop studying. But yeah, I didn't share for a while because I was so busy setting up the website and trying to getting the artworks into the fine print format so that I can share them with others. So anyhow, and I designed a mug saying, I wanted to remind myself about prayer. So I think I designed a mug saying that yes, God can move mountains and prayer can move God. And a sweatshirt. I have that. I have a sweatshirt. But anyway, things like that. I've been doing nice creative things. So I'll say bye now. And God bless you guys. I hope I can come back with a study video again soon. Hope you enjoyed this one though. I thought it was great. Didn't you? Okay, bye.